Let's get started. Let's start on the mat, seated. So, we have a lot to let go of. Every week we meet and there's a new stress or tension in our lives. This quarantine and this pandemic have really made us stop and know that looking at ourselves and taking care of our bodies, our minds, and our spirits is so important. So important. So let's just take the next few minutes and just ground ourselves. Let's start by grounding that tailbone. Let that tailbone, just close your eyes and envision your tailbone rooting itself down into the earth, just like a beautiful flower, a tree, anchoring itself into Mother Earth. Growing roots deep, deep, deep through the soil, around all the rocks and boulders, deeply, deeply grounded into the earth. Taking deep breaths, bringing those breaths up our spine, up our back, and coming down and around the front of our body. So inhale up and exhale down. Just release stress and tension. Just move your head around, roll your shoulders, that head a shake. And when you get yourself grounded, start to pull energy up through Mother Earth, just like the trees and the flowers and the plants. It's where they get their life. It's where we get our life. We just don't happen to have roots. Well, we do, but not like a tree or a flower. So I want you to pull up that energy. Have it enter your body, coming up that spine. Have it trickle down your arms into your hands, to the tips of your fingers, down your legs to the tips of your toes, and then up into your head to the tips of your ears. Just breathe it in. Feel its warmth. If you're chilly this morning, your breath will warm you. Inhale up, exhale. And as you breathe and bring all that good energy up through the earth, let your shoulders glide down your spine. Now drop your chin to your chest. We carry so much of that stress in our neck and our shoulders. See if you can release it now using that breath, letting the head become heavier with each exhalation. Now roll right ear to right shoulder. Take your right hand and gently place it on your left shoulder. You don't have to press down very hard. Just the weight of your hand is enough to give those muscles in your shoulders and your neck a good stretch. Breath helps, so keep that breath going. Then release, take your chin back to your chest. Then roll left to your left shoulder, placing that left hand on your right shoulder. Just a nice little stretch. You may feel more tightness on this side than the other. Just breathe it out. Then release, take your chin back to your chest. Then open your eyes, looking at the ground in front of you, and lengthen that spine. Sit tall. hands out to the side. Let's start by taking that right arm straight up into the air. Keep that spine nice and straight, and left hand just resting gently on fingertips with cup palms. I want you to breathe into the stretch that you have now created down your right side. And if those cervical vertebrae allow you, turn and look up at the palm of your hand. Now you've added that stretch from your sternum up to your chin. Then release your head and gently look down at your left knee. Let that head drop again. Inhale and exhale that right arm down. Take that left arm straight up into the air. Reach and stretch, just gently resting with those right fingertips. And again, if you can, look up at your hand. Add that stretch, sternum to chin. Release and look down at your right knee. Inhale and exhale that down. Now let's go over into a seated crescent pose. Inhale, right arm up and take it over. Oh, deepen that stretch. Take this arm out to the side, draw it back and back up over your head for even a deeper stretch. Look up at the palm of your hand. Release and look down at that left knee again. Inhale and exhale that right arm down. Left arm comes up and over. Just go ahead and slide this right arm up. Try and keep that left hip planted on the mat. So you're just getting a good stretch. You're not lifting that hip at all. Take this arm out to the side. Draw it back and back up and over your head. Look up at the palm of the hand. Release and look down at your right knee. Inhale and exhale that arm down. Bring your hands to heart center. Let's open up our chest. Chest expansion, heart center opening. Bring those arms forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. And inhale back. And exhale. Bring them forward. All right. Let's come up onto our hands and knees. Make sure that those knees are under the hips, hands and wrists under the shoulders. Spread your fingers wide and look down. Those middle fingers should be pointed toward the top of the mat. Take that tailbone, stretch it back, crown of the head forward. So you can feel that stretch down your spine. Then go up into your cat back stretch. Bring that breath into your upper back. You should be able to feel that rib cage expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Then release into cow pose, simply by dropping the navel toward the mat, lifting the hips toward the sky. Press up through those arms and look forward. There's that stretch, sternum to chin. And now we've taken that stretch into our lower back. Let's take our breath there. And then return your spine to neutral. We're going to work these 2 poses with the breath, starting here in neutral. Inhale. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Take it nice and slow. Inhale, cat. Take it down into cow. Back up into cat. Drop down into cow. And one more. Back up to cat. And down to cow. Let's sit back into our first child pose. Press back. Just sit over those lower legs. Gently drop your rib cage to rest on your thighs. Drop onto your forearms. Just check in with your body here. You might want to just stack your fists and rest into the child pose here. Mainly getting that lower back stretched out. You can feel that stretch up through the quadricep, through the thigh. Now, flatten your hands and rest your forehead. Let's take it down a little deeper. And now let's walk those hands out. Just walk those fingertips forward. And enjoy that stretch down your sides once again. Come back up onto all fours. Hands and wrists back under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to do a little spinal balance, starting with our right arm, left leg. We want to take our thumb toward the sky, straight out in front of us, and our left leg toe is pointed. And in yoga, we hold this pose. And then bring it down. Inhale up, left arm, right leg, hold, breathe. Take a deep breath and exhale it down. Let's go back up, right leg, right arm, left leg. Hold and breathe. Press up through that left arm, make sure that elbow is locked, stretching those fingertips forward, pointing that toe away, and bring it down. Isn't easy when you hold it like that. Take it up, hold, balance, great balance, focusing on that imaginary spot between our thumbs, and bring it down. One more time each side. Inhale, up, hold, and balance. Bring it back down, and last time, left arm, right leg. Hold and balance and breathe. You feel the heat rising in our bodies and bring it down. Take those knees now out to the outside edges of the mat and come up on your knees for a gentle camel pose. Taking fists, we're going to press those fists into our hips, pressing those hips forward. And as soon as we do that, we feel this stretch from our knees to our neck. Roll those shoulder blades back and down. Take a deep breath and start to lean back, stretching knees to neck. If you can, look up. Such an important stretch. Such a good pose. Keeping all those muscles on the front of our body stretched out. Each time you inhale, feel your heart lift toward the sky. And then we're slowly going to come back forward, keeping our knees out at the outer edges of the mat. Sit back again. Bring that forehead to the mat. And now arms to your sides with your palms facing the sky. And let your shoulders drop. Time for a little rest. Then bring those hands back around. Bring your knees back in under your hips. We're going to take our hands forward toward the top of our mat. Spread those fingers wide. Tuck our toes under and come up into downward facing dog. You should be taking up a good part of your mat here. And just press the earth away through the palms of your hands, deepening that V.
look down at your toes. You should be able to fit one of your fists in between those toes. Begin to bicycle your legs, moving one movement, one breath. Just going side to side. You can feel that stretch up the back of our legs. Come back to your down dog. Release those ankles. And then walk your feet forward into forward fold. Resting on fingertips with cup palms again. Soften those knees. Let your upper body actually rest on your thighs. And I'm going to grab a block here for a standing spinal twist. Let's start with that block alongside of your left foot. Soften those knees. And then place that hand on the block. Take that right arm up to the sky, straighten the right leg. Left knee stays bent. And your weight is on this block. It can be at any height that you want. And then open your rib cage to the right, looking up at that right thumb. Pretty intense stretch up the back of that right leg. Inhale, exhale, back to forward fold. Shake out your head, move that block to the other side. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Right knee bends, left leg straightens. Look up at that thumb. Inhale, exhale, back to forward fold. Soften both knees again. Shake out your head. Now lift those hips, bringing your hands to your shins. Press that upper body weight into those shins and look forward. Make sure those abdominals are tucked in. Then soften your knees, hands to your hips, and roll your spine up. Inhale, arms to the sky, and let's leave those arms next to our ears today and sit straight down into fierce pose. Breathe into those legs once again. Then press into your heels, come up, squeeze your glutes, open up that body, modified back bend. Let go of that breath. Inhale, arms back next to the ears. Sit into fierce pose. Press into those heels. Modified back bend. One more time. Inhale up. Sit into fierce. Feel most of the weight on your heels here. And then press up. Modified back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. All right. Okay. If you need a drink of water, good time to go and get one. Hopefully you've got water with you. We're going to start today with a flow. Just nice, easy flow. We're going to start with, let's put our toes together, inch between our heels. Standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Oh, just take a moment to ground and center again. Feet rooted into the earth this time. And inhale, arms to the sky. And as we exhale, we're going to step this left foot back into our warrior two.
So immediately your hips want to turn forward. Let's turn them to the long side of the mat. Arms are at shoulder height. Those back muscles are supporting those arms. And this knee's directly, right knee is directly over the ankle and out toward the pinky toe. You can feel that stretch here in the inner thigh. You'll know you're in the right place when you feel that stretch. And our stability now is in this back leg. We want to roll to the outside of that foot. So if you're rolled in toward the arch, try and just swivel it out a little bit. You'll get there. Now look over those right fingertips. They say that this asana, Warrior Two, is the easiest of all poses. And you never do a pose the same way. Something's always different about it. So you're always checking in with the pieces of the pose. This knee likes to come in. Maybe this knee likes to straighten. Maybe we're not rolled to the outside of that foot. So there's always something to focus and think on in our poses. That's the most wonderful part about yoga. You forget about everything else. Let those shoulders relax away from your ears. Now drop your left hand to your side and your right palm to the sky. We're going to go up into reverse warrior, stretching that arm straight up to the sky. Our foundation from our waist down hasn't moved. Look up at the palm of the hand if you can. Sink and breathe into this pose. I'm sure by now you're starting to feel it. Now inhale and exhale back to Warrior Two. We're going to hinge forward and bring this forearm, right forearm, and rest it on our thigh. Bring our left hand to our hip and roll that shoulder open so the front of your body's all directly to the left. You might want to stay here, or you can take a deep inhalation and bring this arm over your head toward the corner of the room into extended angle. Reach and stretch. That left foot still grounded into the earth. Now add some balance by looking up at the palm of your hand. Look down at your right toes. Press the mounds of those toes into the earth. Come back up to your Warrior Two. Straighten that leg. Go ahead and parallel your feet and release your arms down. A little difficult. Oh, while we're here, let's stretch our legs a little bit and our upper body. So place your hands on your hips. We're going to come down into a flat back. Keep looking forward, adding that stretch, sternum to chin. Then release your body down. Take a hold of your elbows and just rest your forehead on your arms and just rock. That spine a little relief. Now release your hands directly under your shoulders. We're going to turn those right toes back toward the top of the mat. Create that warrior foundation again. We're going to walk our upper bodies back to the top of that mat and rest that rib cage once again on that thigh. Make sure that knee is directly over the ankle. Pyramid pose. We're going to do a little stretch of this hamstring. Take a deep breath. Keep that upper body as relaxed as possible and start to stretch and straighten that left leg. If you need blocks, you can take blocks and put them on each side of that right foot. It helps you to straighten that leg. Certainly do feel the stretch through the hamstring here. And then bring that right knee back over the ankle. Step the left foot forward, back into your forward fold. Straighten those legs, hands to our shins, hands to our hips, and come up slowly. go to the other side of my mat for the other side, you can stay right where you are.
And start again, once again in Tadasana. Just ground and center. Notice the heat rising in your body. Inhale, arms to the sky. This time stepping this right foot back into our warrior foundation.
Remember, you can test that wingspan. Are there feet underneath each set of fingers? Left knee directly over the ankle, rolling to the outside of that back foot. Our stability. Take that knee, press it out toward your pinky toe. Spine is straight here. Take those arms up. Shoulders rolled back and down. Look out over the left fingertips. Breathe and sink. Really focus on it. Every time you do this pose, just focus on something that you really know you need to work on. Drop that right arm to your side, left palm to the sky. Take it up, reverse warrior. Look up at your hand. Release this right shoulder away from your ear. Come back to your warrior two. Now hinge forward and bring that left forearm and rest it on your thigh. Right hand to your hip. Stack those shoulders one on top of the other. And then take a deep inhalation. Bring this arm up and over your head to the other corner of the room and stretch and breathe. Look up at the palm of your hand. Add a little balance. Look down at your left toes, pressing the mounds of those toes into the mat without moving that foundation. Come back up to your warrior two. Now, straighten that leg, parallel your feet, and release your arms down. Deep breath. All right, let's stretch again. Hands to our hips, flat back, forward fold. Cross at the elbows, hands on those elbows, forehead on your forearms, and just rock. Then release your hands under your shoulders, still on fingertips with cup palms. Now let's turn those left toes toward the top of our mat. Right heel turns back, creating that foundation again. Left knee comes over the ankle. Right leg is straight. And walk. Hands on each side of that left foot. Rest your upper body onto that left thigh. Go ahead and give that head a shake. And with the next breath, start to stretch and straighten that left leg. Then bring that left knee back over the ankle. Let's bring that right foot forward, back into forward fold. Lift those hips, hands to our shins, hands to our hips, and roll your spine up. All right, very good. All right. Today, last week we did tree pose. So get your block. Place it next to your left foot. I want you mostly on the flat side. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm allergic to glue blocks. All right. Eagle pose. modified so we can all do it. Bring your hands to heart center. Important thing here is to stay balanced, to keep that spine straight in doing this pose. So the first thing we want to do is just bend those knees and just sit straight down, almost like if you were sitting in a chair. You don't want that upper body to lean forward because that's the direction you will fall. So we're going to just stay straight, just bending those knees. And then cross your right leg over the left and just let those toes rest on that block. So you can get those hips straight. Spine is straight. I want to be relaxed right here. And then bring that right arm forward. We're going to take that left arm, both palms toward the sky, cross the left arm over the right, and intertwine them. I like to create what I call candle flame fingertips. So they're not curled, they're nice and straight. Prayer hands. If you can reach around and grab your left thumb, that's wonderful. Otherwise, backs of the hands together works too. Our upper arms are resting on our chest. And now comes the stretch through our back. Lift. Balance and breathe. Take that breath and press it into your upper back. Then release them down. Let them go. And go ahead and stand straight up. Not so bad. Really nice way of doing eagle pose. Let's move that block to the other side. Hands to heart center. Again, keep that core strong here. Sit. Now, crossing left leg over right and rest on that block. Maybe you can go a little deeper on this side. Left arm comes forward, then right. Palms toward the sky, right arm crosses over left. Intertwine those those forearms. And then lift. Breathing into that back. Then release down. Release those arms and stand up straight. Very good. Really, really enjoyable way of doing eagle pose. All right. Get a drink of water and meet me at the top of your mat once again. Let's start with a moment just in Tadasana, mountain pose, grounding and centering. And then inhale, arms to the sky. Let's swan dive with a flat back, forward fold. Keep those abdominals working here. Soften those knees as you come down and step back into your down dog. Bicycle out those legs. Drop onto your knees. Bring yourselves around and sit into potted palm. Legs crossed. Okay. Make sure you're on your sit bones. Cup your hands over your knees. Lengthen that spine. Then take a deep breath, round and release, roll back. Tucking chin to chest, relaxing shoulders away from your ears. And just let that spine stretch. Let the muscles that support that spinal cord stretch out. Tuck navel to spine, release and roll up. Let's start with taking our left knee and bringing it straight in front of our body. Wrapping that lower leg around us, and then we're going to take this right leg and wrap it around. Bringing it close to the rib cage. Just packing yourself into like a tight little package. Hold on, lift up through that spine, through the crown of your head. And today I want you just with your left hand, keep that leg tucked in. We're going to take this arm over our head and around behind us, resting on fingertips with cup palms. Straighten that spine even more. Then take a deep breath and look over your right shoulder. Spinal twist. That spine is working in this pose. Come back to center. Let's switch sides. Right knee comes to center. Left leg wraps around. Tuck it in nice and close. Relax those shoulders away from your ears. And keep using that right hand, keep it tucked in. And let's take this arm back. Press into those fingertips. See how much I can press my spine even straighter? Take a deep breath and look over that left shoulder. Come back to center. Let's put the bottoms of our feet together into butterfly. You can take a hold of your ankles or your feet. Just lightly flutter your knees. Check in with those hips, see how they're feeling today. Then bring those knees together. Let's sit out into sitting straddling splits. So you want those legs out wide. Right now, your feet can be flopped open. Hands to center, up onto those sit bones. Fingertips cup palms. I want you to, using that breath, start to walk your hands forward. You're going to feel it in those hips. And just see how far you get with the breath. Remember, exhalations create movement. So inhale, exhale, and move. Inhale, exhale, move. And when you get as far as you can, we're going to take our right hand with index and middle finger, reach over, grab a hold of that big toe, and flex that foot back. Your heel will probably leave the floor of the mat. Arm is straight, elbow is locked. We're grounded, we're evenly weighted on both hips, not favoring this right hip, but evenly weighted. And then once again, we're going to take this left arm straight up into the sky. Sitting angular. There is not a soft curve in our body in this pose. Angles everywhere. Can you look up at the palm of your hand again? Inhale, exhale the left arm back to center. Right hand comes over. Take a deep breath, see if you can walk out even further. Then reach over. Index and middle finger. Take a hold of that big toe. Flex that foot back. Get that arm nice and straight. Evenly weighted on both hips. And right arm to the sky. Look up. I can feel this stretch all over my body. Inhale, exhale, right arm back to center, left hand comes over. Here we go, take a deep breath. Can you walk even further? Try and soften the elbows here. See if you could lay those forearms down onto the ground. Use your breath. And then come up, back to fingertips, cup palms, and let your hands push your upper body back up. use your hands to bring your legs back in, and then shake them out. Get your strap. Let's take that left foot to our inner thigh, knee or calf. Strap around the right foot. Sit up really tall again. Keeping that stretched sternum to chin, we're going to take a deep breath and just lean forward. Forward folding over that right foot. Looking out over those right toes. Should be pretty loosened up by now. Maybe you can get a little further than you've ever gotten before. I want you now to tuck your chin to your chest. Take another deep breath and draw the crown of your head toward your toes and try and get your nose as close to that knee as you can. Then tuck navel to spine, always protecting that lower back. Release and roll up. Go ahead and change sides. Right foot, left inner thigh, left knee, left calf, whatever works for you. Start by sitting tall. Take a deep breath. Exhale and hinge forward from that hip, looking out over those left toes. Breathe and sink and stretch. Drop your chin to your chest. Take a deep breath. Draw the crown of your head toward those toes and your nose toward your knee. Use that breath to deepen. Tuck navel to spine, release and roll up. All right. Down on your back, knees to chest. Let's start with wind frame pose. Release that right leg straight down on the mat. And take that left arm up overhead. Stretch. Left knee goes out toward the left shoulder. Then gently drop this left leg out to the side. Keeping that knee as much at waist height as you can. Then bring this left knee back to center. With the right hand, I'm going to tuck my right hip under my left. And I'm going to draw this left leg over my right hip. Right arm, left arm goes out to the side, keeping that left shoulder grounded. You don't have to pull here. Again, just the weight of your hand. You can feel that stretch across the lower back. Come back to center. Knees to chest. Go ahead and rock side to side. Then release that left leg out long. Take that left arm overhead and stretch. Then drop this right knee out to the side. Again, no weight required, just the bit of your hand, the weight of your hand. Don't have to press down. Bring this right knee back to center. Let's tuck the left hip under the right. Right arm goes out to the side, keeping that right shoulder rounded, and draw this right leg over the left hip. Each side's going to feel a little different, but that's perfectly normal. Bring that leg back to center. Both knees back to the chest. Rock side to side. Then place your feet on the mat, about hip width apart. We're going to tuck our shoulder blades underneath us and go up into our bridge. Lift those hips. If you got a block close by, have it ready. Draw those knees toward each other as if you had an imaginary ball that you couldn't let drop. Make sure you can lift your head. Squeeze those glutes, lift a little higher. And then I want you to take that block on its lowest side, the flattest side, and just tuck it under your tailbone. So it's supporting that lower back. Bring your knees to your chest. Take those legs up into the air. Let's take a little relief. Palms to the sky. Oh, just close your eyes and relax for a moment. Then bend those knees, bring your right foot down, then left. Stay on that block and release that right leg out, resting on your heel. You start to feel that hip flexor stretch. Left leg goes out. Keep those shoulder blades tucked underneath you. And just relax into this. And feel great hip flexor stretching going on. Then bring right foot back to the mat, then left. Lift back up into your bridge. Go ahead and remove that block, set it aside. And release that spine down one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone comes last. Take your legs out long, point your toes, arms overhead. Stretch through your fingertips. Bring those knees back to your chest and out towards your shoulders. Drop into reclining butterfly for a moment and open up those hips. Palms can face down or up at the sky. Just check in with those hips again. And then gently bring those knees together back to the chest and up into the air. Let's place that right ankle on our left thigh. And do a little piriformis stretch deep down under those glutes. So reach through to the back of that left thigh and just draw that ankle closer to you. At the same time, your right elbow is pressing the knee away. Here comes that stretch. It's a great one. If you suffer from sciatica, it's a great stretch to do. Release, knees to chest. Stretch it out. And the legs back up in the air. This
send left ankle onto right thigh. Reach around to the back of that right thigh and draw that left ankle closer to you. And with your left elbow, press that left knee away. Keep this right leg nice and straight and strong. I like to flex my heel toward the ceiling. That helps. And again, one side's going to feel different than the other. Release both knees to the chest, back out toward the shoulders, and now let's take it up to happy baby. Today I'm going to take the outsides of my feet. Draw my knees toward the ground. Open up those hips even more. You can rock side to side here. You can take a hold of your big toes again with index and middle finger and stretch those legs up. And then let's release. Take those legs out long once again. Stretch arms overhead. And then bring your hands down to your side. Let your feet flop open. Take a deep breath. Time to let that body rest. So I want you to think about all the places that your back is meeting the mat. Just let it sink into the mat, growing heavy. You feel that heat and energy in the palms of your hands. Your fingers are softly curved. Those of you that would like to stay here, go right ahead. The rest of us, go ahead and tuck your knees to your chest. Roll onto your right side and back up into Pada Palm. Come up slowly. Hands on your knees. Let's take a hold of that ring fingernail for breath. Close your eyes, tuck your chin to your chest. Remember that tailbone that we rooted into the earth? Let's just check in with our mind, our body, our spirit. Then slowly begin to open your eyes, looking at the ground in front of you. Start to lengthen that spine, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, lifting the head toward the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale down. And inhale up. Exhale down, and inhale up, exhale down. Bring those hands to heart center. Deep breath here. Namaste. My spirit honors yours. You have a great day. Thank you for joining me for the yoga class. Maybe I'll see you Friday. My spirit honors yours. I miss you.